What is happening, guys? He's finally back out on the bank after a few weeks. Had to have a little bit of a break. Done a lot on the campaign water, but back down Longbridge today, and got both rods out. Only fishing 2 rods. I've got my surface gear because, as you can tell, it is an absolute beautiful day. But been a few changes, bait-wise, especially. So, first of all, surface fishing. Right hand rod just had a touch, but that's backleaded as well. So there we go. But yeah, let's talk about bait. Right hand rod. I was going to talk about surface fishing, but first let's get on to this. Right hand rod. I'm actually fishing Parker baits now. That's on the fruit and nut, and on the left is the OG fish. When I got here, a few other guys on the lake. There's about 8 other people fishing. Quite mad considering it's a Thursday. But it's only going to be a short session. I'm only here for a day session. When I got here, the swim that I fished in the previous video, if you haven't seen that, head on over, check that one out. Bench swim, I think it's known as, was available, so it's a no-brainer. Get back here. I saw a bit of activity. Unfortunately, today, I think for some reason they've got the oxygenators going during the day. They normally run them at night, but obviously I don't know what's going on. I ain't been over for a little while. But yeah, the oxygenators are running, so it might be a little bit hard work until they switch off later to try and get them up on the top. I've seen a few fish floating around in the upper layers. It's still early doors, it's only 8 AM. Obviously gates open at 7, but I will try and get them up feeding, you know me. Yeah, like I say, bait change more than anything. You know, I don't really like change. They're both fishing on pop-ups. Like I say, when I got here, this swim was empty, so got spod rod straight out, led it about a little bit, just found them spots that I found last time. Obviously it's quite clear over there. A lot of people have obviously been fishing it, putting a lot of bait out there, but it was rock solid. Solid crack every time I was hitting the lead down, and then dragging back, and it's so I was like, right, okay. I got 5-6 bombs over each spot, and what I've just done a bit of a mixture. I'll run through that later with you, and yeah, I'll just keep you update, let you know how my day goes, and keep posted. So when I got here, unfortunately, someone has actually left their net, and it was all wound up. The grass is pretty long, so the green net. So what I've done, just hung it up here for them. So if you are missing a net, and you do decide to come back and collect it, there you go. I stuck it up there for you so you can find it. I'm sorry too for joy. I've seen a lot of magpies today. As you know, if you've seen a few of my videos, I'm quite superstitious, and I'll run off the magpies. So hopefully, I'll nick a few. Whoa, sorry about the lighting there. The sun is absolutely beating down. I've got a t-shirt on already. Sweating, absolutely sweating, getting set up. See, I've only been here an hour. Well, just over an hour. But yeah, hopefully, nick a few. And keep you updated, and bring you an absolute banger of another video. I do want to get up on the top because I am targeting them grass carp. So, see what happens. Yeah, boy. So going on to bait-wise, that is a mixture of 14 and 18 mils. There's not a lot in there because obviously I'm in here for a day session and I don't want to go too heavy on bait because I am trying to get up on the top later. But I'm giving it a go. There's a mixture of 14 and 18 mils, as I said, but it's OG fish and OG fruit and nut soaked in the fish sauce, and then obviously fruit and nut pop-ups matching the hatch and the OG fish pop-ups. These pellet are actually what my club water feeds the fish, so just bulking out the bait more than anything on the spoms. But yeah, that's bait wise, and obviously I'll talk. Let me dig that bucket out and I'll get back to you. So I've been asked a few times now on how I fish on the top. Now, little mesh bags of dog biscuits, that's all they are. These are just mixers. Well, there's a mixture in there actually. Oh, thank God for that. The oxygenator's just switched off. Yeah, boy. So basically these are just mixers, but there is like a few Nash upper layer floaters, which I have mentioned in previous videos. I do use these banded on. That is how I fish on top. Unfortunately, I've been around to a few of my local tackle shops and they've not seemed to be stocking them. So what I've had to do is actually make another change over to these ones. Don't mind the tub. These ain't what they come in. I'll just put them in these tubs. These come in bags. But these are what are they? They're dynamite floaters, and these are the fish meal. So you can kind of see why I kind of go for this comparison, because when you look at the mixers that I use, which are just Sainsbury's own brand, it's nothing special, nothing spectacular, and they do the do. And then you can kind of see why. But yeah, I band them on with gardener band. I'll go through it later. I'll go through the setup, what I've been using, and we'll go through that a little bit more, so you can give it a bash yourself if you want to. If you can grin and bear it, because it's quite painful, to say the least. It is frustrating the way I fish. It's not for the faint-hearted. It is quite touch and go. But yeah, no, there's fish over on the top out there. I'm so glad that the oxygenators are off, so now I can feed up a few floaters, get the mixers out there, get them. I don't want to spread them about too much, because obviously competing with the gulls, a few ducks, a few of the moorhens, and yeah, let's see what happens. Let's just see what happens. What a view. He's got the floater gear out now. Simple fact, taken off the top, but unfortunately, kind of fighting with the bird life still. It's being a bit annoying. One did come up and mouth my bait. Like, literally just see him cruising by, so I put it straight on top of his head. Come up, boom, turn. Off he went. Seeing a few of the grassies floating around, so fingers crossed I can nick one of them, because that is my target for today. Obviously the sun's booming, as you can tell still, like I've already said. But hopefully I'll manage to get amongst one or two before the day's over. I wasn't going to do a half day. I've now switched over. I'm going to do a full day. Still early doors. Don't even know what time it is. I didn't check, to be fair. But yeah, it's only about 9 o'clock, if that. And the temperature is high. So what I've done, I've kept the OG fish. Big old dragonfly. So yeah, I kept the OG fish rod out, which is a left-hand rod. And now I've got the floater gear out. Just I can see them. To be fair, the bird life seem to have done their business and then buggered off. But seagulls keep coming in and out, crashing around. But them I can deal with. As long as they don't absolutely smash me to bits and leave a little bit of the bait out there, the fish will move in, as you're well aware. But waffling on a bit. Oh, what I will do before I put that rod back out, because it's not out at the moment, I'm just leaving it. I wasn't even going to put the rod out. It's just I see the fish cruising in about 2-3 rod lengths out, just dropped it straight in front of his head. It should come up, nosed it, off it went. Didn't want to have none of it. But yeah, what I'll do, I'm going to jump off, and what I'll do, I will show you my setup on how I fish on the top. So if anyone wants to give it a bash, then more than welcome, give it a go. It seems to be what's working for me. That fish is back again. So I'll tell you what, I'll talk through it in a minute. I'm going to give this another bash. As promised, I said I'd go through my surface setup, and this is the way that I fish, and it seems to be doing me really well. Not tried these baits, but I'm pretty sure that the dynamite floating pellet will be just as good as the Nash upper layers, and that is banded on to a size 12 floater claw. And then I run, bear with me, a 5 to 6 foot floater line. It's the Zig line from Nash, £15, with a 8 angle sleeve, and then one of these little bubble floats from Corum. Cheap and cheerful, nothing special, you know what I mean? That's a £15 main line. You can use floater line, I just never have done, and it seems to work perfectly fine for me. That is, what is that? That's the Fox, that's Fox EOS £15 thing. But yeah, that is my floater setup, and I'll use, just gone over to a £3 test curve 12 footer, and that is just because of my campaign lake, and it's so weedy, so just find the extra 2 foot and at £3 test, and not two, I think I've got a 2.5 test. Let me flip the camera so you're not just looking at the water. That's a £3 test, as I keep saying, instead of the 2.5 or 2.75 10 foot rod that I use for surface fishing or stalking. But it seems to be doing me well, and even like I've been making little changes here and there, especially hook wise. Obviously I used to use a size 8, dropped it down to a size 10, still missing fish, still getting quite a lot of spooks. I switched over to a 12, it seems to do the job, so there we go. That is the way that I surface fish. So if you want to give it a bash, there you go, there's the setup, have fun, and hopefully you bang a few out. What have you? It's gone midday now, and these fish are playing really hard to get, so I filled the OG fish rod in, packed them up, had to set over on the bench behind me, and I've got the floater rod, got my stalking gear ready, so I'm going to have a little mooch round. Obviously the grass carp do keep coming up, but they're not taking the bait. Picking 1 or 2 of the freebies off there every now and then, not really getting into a feeding frenzy. One literally sat right in front of me now, but they're not having none of it. Just cruising around, sunbathing. So I'm going to go and have a little walk around, put a few mixers out here and there, and hopefully manage to get nick one. Let's see what happens. Very pretty scaly one. Who wants to play ball? There you go. Look at that. £17, 13 ounces. I literally stuck the pellet right on its nose, and won no escaping that. But what an absolute stunning fish that is. As I say, £17, 13 ounces. Just gone past 1 PM now, so show the other side quick, get a couple of still shots and get this one slipped back. Let's have a look. And that's the other side. What an absolute stunning fish. Happy days. Let's get a still shot, like I say, get this one popped back. Hopefully we can get a few more. Well, the fish is still definitely taking off the top now. Seems to be, well, all morning it's been quite slow. As I've told you, it's not been very active on the top. Absolutely not a touch on that OG fish rod. This is a better one, I might be able to get to it from here. So in these pads just here, right here, there is a really nice looking like a ghost koi sort of thing, but this seems to be the best one to be able to get to it. An overhead cast, I was trying to underarm flick it to it, and it's not happening. He's over there taking off the top now. So I'm going to walk on round. I'm going to give it, get a little bit of a freedom frenzy going. Get a bit more confidence because the goals have just moved in. I grab myself a pasty because I'm absolutely starving, and switch around to this double swim here, which is, I don't know, the numbers ain't on there anymore. It's double swim right in the corner. I've put a bit of bait on the pads, so the fish seem to be holding up in the pads, let's put it that way. When they're coming out, they're just basking in the sun, cruising around, not really interested in the bait. They might nick the odd one or two if they cruise past it, but not going nowhere near the hook bait. And obviously if they're not in a frenzy, yeah, you can potentially nick one if it comes past, but what I'm aiming to do is trying to get them feeding a little bit, and then obviously put right over the top of it like I did with that last fish. Cracking fish nonetheless, absolute stunner. But yeah, like I say, I'm just walking around to bench swim and grab myself some grub, and then I'm gonna get back to it. So hopefully nick another one before the day's out. Yeah, boy. Coming up to about 3:15 now. Fish just seem to have switched off. It's 23 degrees, so it's quite warm. And what I've done, just topped up with a bit of bait. The fish seem to be holding up in the pads or in the shaded areas. You do see them out in open water every now and then, but they're just basking. They're not feeding or anything like that. The grassies, it's not having none of it. I don't know if you can see that actually. There's literally a grass carp sat right here. It's not picking up on it. There's a grass carp sat there. People probably think, oh, how do you know it's a grass carp? Well, when there's a big old torpedo. Yeah, there's a few of them floating around. I think there's like 6 or 7 in there to about £27. And I've had them to £18.5 last year. I've had 6 out of there, but I say I've had 6. I've had 3, but all 3 that I caught were all recaptures, so I've caught them twice. Oh, this grassy here, look. I don't know if it's going to see if you can see that. Let me zoom in. No, it ain't going to let me zoom in. Just toying with me. Got a Polaroid on, haven't I? But yeah, like I say, I'm going to get everything wrapped up around here, and then I'm going to walk myself around the lake and hopefully just dot and dab as and where I go. Drop a little bit of bait in. If they start to feed, then drop it on its head, like what I did with that last fish, because that seems to be the way that's working at the moment. But like I say, it is quite warm and feeling it. Yeah, I'm not going to waffle on. I'm going to leave it there and get all this packed up. Get back round now. He has managed another one off the top again. Decided to go for a little bit of a mooch. Ended up down the canal. They are literally all over the top down there. This one really don't want to play ball, but hopefully let me show you guys now. There it is. A low double, but nice old dark one. Very pretty fish. Like I say, not going to keep it out for too much longer. Going to get a quick still shot, get this one slipped back, because there is a grass carp taking off top in the next swim up. I don't know what that was. But yeah, like I say, I get a quick still shot and then pop this one back, so it's nice and warm out here, and we don't want to keep it out of the water for too much longer. Yeah, boy. He has managed another one. Another mid-double mirror. Really doesn't want to play ball. There it is. As I say, it's only a mid-double mirror. Come off the top, just on the tip of the pads over the back there. I did move again because I got absolutely smashed to bits by the bird life down the canal. So came back up to where they were taking off the top earlier in the pads. Ooh, I'm going to put it down because it really don't want to play ball. I'm going to get a couple of still shots, get this one slipped back. Wow, he's back in the car, which can only mean one thing. It's the end of my session. Ended up with 3. Can't grumble at that. An absolute stunning fully scale. Only came in at £17 13 ounces. That was the biggest one of the day. But still, if you've been watching me for a while, you'll know I'm an absolute sucker for a fully scale. But yeah, tomorrow we'll be back down there. I say we because Wayne will be by my side yet again, because it's been a long old time since we've been out together. I think last time we were out together was like the 3rd of May. We're now on like the 20th of June. It's been a long time. So we are coming back to Longbridge as long as we can get on somewhere. Obviously it's a Friday, so we're going to try and get here as early as possible and try and get in a pretty half decent swim if we can. It's empty now, so hopefully when we get here tomorrow it'll still be empty. But yeah, like I say, if you haven't already, head over to the channel, give us a like, give us a subscribe so you don't miss any of our future videos going forward. Here's to the next one. Yeah, boy!